I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Back on my feet again, I'm feeling good. Leading me here and there, I'm on my way. Breathing in and out, I freed my mind. I'm gonna be fine, 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 come what may. I'm gonna be fine, 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 come what may. I'm gonna be fine, 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 come what may.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Boulevard's 2021 Virtual Gala. Yeah, we're virtual, but we feel like we are really with you and hope you'll be with us. I'm Robin Robinson. I'm really thrilled to be your event host this evening. As we gather together virtually, we are here to celebrate and recognize the many brave and heroic accomplishments from the past year, because what a year. Our theme for tonight's event is Time to Heal. It is time to heal, so that's what we're celebrating. This past year has, of course, been difficult for every single one of us, but it has been most devastating for our vulnerable neighbors on Chicago's south and west sides. You know they've been disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Thankfully, the Boulevard has become a beacon of hope and of healing for hundreds of men and women who are ill and injured and experiencing homelessness all at the same time. It is fitting that the opening song for tonight's event was from a Chicago nonprofit called Harmony, Hope, and Healing, not to be confused with Bone Thugs and Harmony. But this group supports people in recovery through music programs. Isn't that brilliant? We are so grateful for their beautiful contribution to tonight's celebration, and we're going to hear from them a little more later. And of course, we're so glad that you are here to celebrate with us. Hopefully you're comfortable at home, relaxing in your recliner, sipping on your favorite beverage, whatever that might be, because we do have a spectacular program planned for you. One of the highlights of our program will be the presentation of the Boulevard's Enhancing Lives Award, and it is going to Dr. Allison Arwady, Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health, a once fairly obscure position, but over the last year, right in the hot seat, and she has handled it with grace and caring and information. Another exciting highlight in our program, we're going to be joined by the Honorable Lori Lightfoot. She's going to be congratulating Dr. Arwady on her award and sharing some remarks with us. First, though, let's hear from the Boulevard's leadership, including Jeremy Stump, the board president, and Renita White, chief executive officer. You will also meet the important folks, the residents of the Boulevard. Walk with them through an unbelievable and transformational journey. Along the way, you'll meet many community, business, and philanthropic leaders who have developed strong partnerships with the Boulevard in support of serving our Chicago neighbors in need. We're also going to share with you an impact menu. Yep, that's where I try to get in your pocket. It's going to demonstrate how you can make a meaningful impact in the lives of the men and women who are served every day by the Boulevard. You don't have to wait, though. Throughout this program and after this program, you can make a meaningful gift by simply clicking on the donate button on on the top right of your screen. Or that thing that's probably in your hand right now and all the time, you can text to give on your phone. I'll show you how it works. You just go to your texts, create a new text message, type in 41444, just like a phone number, but it's short. Then text BLVD, the abbreviation for Boulevard. Doesn't have to be all caps, and then you send. You will receive a donation link to fill out. It's going to be just that easy, so hope you will do it early and often. So please sit back and enjoy the next exciting hour of inspiration and celebration. It's my pleasure right now to introduce you to Jeremy Stump, the Boulevard's board president.
Thank you, Robin. Good evening, everyone. We're so fortunate to have Robin Robinson as our host for our virtual gala this year. As Robin said, this is a time for celebration. We made it through an incredibly challenging year. At the beginning of the pandemic, 50% of our residents had tested positive for COVID-19. It was a terrible outbreak. But our dedicated frontline staff were there for our residents every moment of every day, caring for their health and safety needs. They worked together with our on-site healthcare partner, PCC Community Wellness Center. They followed the guidelines from the Chicago Department of Public Health and the CDC. And they put measures in place to protect our residents and safeguard them from the spread of the virus. I can speak for our board of directors when I say that our frontline staff are the Boulevard's true heroes, and we owe them a debt of gratitude. On behalf of the board of directors, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the many sponsors of our virtual gala. We're grateful to our presenting sponsors, the Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation, and Mary Ann Pearson. We're thankful for our Rebuilding Lives sponsors, including Elaine Q, Northwestern Medicine, Salmon's Financial Group, and Randy and Christy Weimer. We're grateful for our Restoring Health sponsors, BMO Harris Bank, and Dennis and Martha Pierce. We appreciate our Renewing Hope sponsors, and we thank our media sponsor, WBEZ. In addition, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our virtual gala host committee members and the co-chairs, including Patty DiBiase, Nancy Hansen, Carol Stitzer, and Britt Weidbeck. During the last year, as we navigated our way through the pandemic, we also made a significant transition in leadership. After a thorough executive search process, it was our good fortune to welcome Renita White as the Boulevard's new Chief Executive Officer. Renita comes to us with more than 35 years of nonprofit leadership experience. Throughout this past year, Renita has made many instrumental and positive changes that had led to the advancement of our operations and the improvement of the programs and services that we offer. The board and I are grateful for her leadership and vision for the future. I am pleased to introduce to you Renita White.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's such a pleasure to be with you all tonight as we gather during our virtual gala to celebrate hope and healing, because it is time to heal. As you've heard, the men and women we serve have been through a lot this past year. And as Jeremy said, our heroic frontline staff have helped our residents to restore their health and rebuild their lives every step of the way. I'd like to thank Jeremy and our board of directors, because with their leadership over the last year, we were able to make important decisions that have allowed us to sustain our operations and move forward in critical growth areas to improve the health and well-being of our residents. I also like to thank you, our supporters. We are extremely grateful and humbled for the outpouring of love and support we've received throughout this difficult year. Although we had to suspend our on-site volunteer program, many of you have continued to donate meals, clothing, and much-needed items for our residents. We appreciate your ongoing support. This organization began 27 years ago as true pioneers. We were one of the first 3 medical respite facilities in the entire country, serving ill and injured men and women who were experiencing homelessness and in need of a place to recover. Since 1994, we've served more than 10,000 people. Men and women are referred to the Boulevard because they are being discharged from a hospital or a clinic after surgery or a serious illness, and they have nowhere else to go to recuperate. We're here for them. They stay at our facility, and we provide them with not only a place to heal, but a continuum of programs and services that help them gain stability and rebuild their lives. The men and women we serve receive interim housing and healthy, nutritious meals. We also provide on-site primary and behavioral health care. Each resident has a dedicated case manager and access to regular support services and group sessions. Our services are more important now than ever before. People who are living in underserved communities have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19, and our residents have been at greater risk of contracting the virus because they have underlying health conditions. Soon after I began my position as CEO, we assessed data and found that throughout the year, 40% of our residents had become homeless because they did not have a job. This was a dramatic increase. As a significant part of my vision for the organization, we created our first workforce development program. We hired an employment counselor who helps our clients to set goals, build their skills, become job ready, and find employment opportunities. With the belief that housing is health and health is housing, it is clear that people need the stability of a home to lead healthy lives. Although our housing advocacy team has always worked extremely hard to locate stable housing opportunities for our residents, over the last year, the pandemic has increased the urgency of connecting our vulnerable population to permanent housing. My vision is to increase housing opportunities for people experiencing homelessness so they're able to gain the stability they need to thrive. Therefore, we partner with the City of Chicago and All Chicago with a goal to help 120 individuals and their families secure housing annually. Over the last year, we greatly enhanced 4 critical service areas, which allowed me to establish our 4 cornerstone programs: medical respite, housing, behavioral health, and workforce development. These areas are essential to the success of the work that we conduct. Now, I'd like to introduce a video that shows our cornerstone programs through the stories of 2 residents, Sean and Augustus. This video shows the transformation that can happen in people's lives when they receive the care, compassion, and critical support they need to move from homelessness to stable housing. Please enjoy.
I love cooking. I love baking. It's not easy. It's a little hard, and I have messed up a whole bunch of times. But when you get it right, you feel really good about yourself. My mom is very supportive of me cooking. But then she started to get sick. After my mom died, I abused pills after a surgery that I had, and then I became addicted.
Growing up in a dysfunctional family and feeling unwanted, I went to the streets at an early age. I've been chronically homeless. There's a lot of humiliation in being homeless. You have to wear so many different masks when you're in the streets. You have to be a chameleon. I didn't like who I was. I wanted better for myself. I wanted out of the life ever since I got in it, but I was never able to overcome my demons.
Once you're stripped down to such bare bones like I was, with nothing, the Boulevard came along and said, "Here, we're going to help you."
The Boulevard stands for helping those that are homeless and ill and injured get to a better place in their life.
You gonna come to the group on Friday?
The people that come here, they're not just homeless. They're really, really broken.
So if you have someone...
Our goal is to make them whole again.
We have 4 cornerstones of services. Our primary service is medical respite care.
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you doing?
Medical respite is short-term residential care for people who are experiencing homelessness. And as they heal and recover, it's really important for them to have a stable place to live. Housing really is healthcare. It can't be separated, and Boulevard is an excellent model of how that can work. We want to help you with smoke.
When one comes in for medical respite care, and then they stay with us for a while during their recuperation, they receive an array of different services, behavioral health opportunities.
How many people have been raised in families where you were cursed? You ain't nothing, you ain't never gonna be.
Workforce development opportunities.
This is my resume?
We also provide housing opportunities.
The Boulevard is a place to become whole, a place to be safe, and a place to get back on your feet.
The greatest thing we can do for them is to dignify their existence, is, to honor their humanity. Kindness, just sheer kindness.
There's a great transformation that takes place from when they walk through those doors to when they actually are leaving out of the doors.
This is actually my first apartment with my name on the lease.
If it wasn't for the Boulevard, I wouldn't be sitting here on my sofa right now, talking to you in my apartment, holding my keys in my hand.
It's a chance to be responsible and productive.
Every time I wake up, I get down on my knees and I pray to God and I just say thank you so much for everything that you've given me.
They are the first people that actually did what they said they was gonna do.
The Boulevard just didn't help me at that time. It's helping me every day. Right now, they're helping me. It's something that is ongoing. They help me get my life back. They're helping me live. They helped me become someone that 5 years ago I didn't know that I'd be able to become or wouldn't have been interested in becoming.
Right now, I'm the best version of myself that I could be at this stage. I'm only gonna get better.
I see myself as a person of society that is important, and people love me and I love people, and I'm needed.
Whew, that was powerful, like being a first-person witness to a transformation, something that can happen when people are treated with dignity and respect, when they're given the critical support that they need to restore their health, and when they're provided with the opportunities to rebuild their own lives. Over the last 27 years, the Boulevard has helped more than 10,000 men and women just like Augustus and Sean, people who are not only homeless, but they're ill, they're injured, they just need a chance, maybe more than one chance. Can you imagine being in the hospital because you need surgery or you're sick, and then when you're released, you have no home to go to? It's got to be terrifying. It's scary enough being in the hospital when you have all of the supports that people should have. And it happens during a pandemic. Perfect storm. I'm going to ask you to think about Augustus and Sean and all the men and women who are experiencing homelessness in Chicago today. Ever wondered how you can make a difference, a real difference? You can. You can make a meaningful impact in people's lives today, right now. You can help somebody move from homelessness to healing and into stable housing. You can do this by making a donation to the Boulevard. Just click on the donate button on your screen, or as I said earlier, you can text to give on your phone. Type in 41444 and then text BLVD and send. You're gonna get a donation link to fill out. It's gonna be super easy. Now watch your screen as I walk you through an impact menu of the Boulevard's cornerstone program areas. Now this menu is for you to decide if and how and you would like to make a meaningful impact in people's lives. You can also watch the chart below. Once you donate, you will be helping us move closer to reaching our goal. You heard Renita and Dr. Wong say housing is health, right? Housing is everything lately. How much time have we spent in our homes? How many things have you redone? How many decks have you built? How many kitchens have you fixed up? How many hot tubs? Just think of people who just want those four walls, a front door, a bed, stability. They need the stability of a home to lead healthy lives. It's never been more important than during a pandemic. It's almost like the pandemic came to show us how important it is. So if you can, please consider a donation of $5,000. A gift of $5,000 will cover the costs associated with setting up a new home for someone who is homeless. This donation will help to provide household essentials, furniture, kitchen items, utility assistance, the first month's rent, or a security deposit. You know, it's hard to get into a new place.
Being homeless as a kid, I did what I felt I had to do to survive. And I didn't like who I was. I wanted better for myself.
It takes a lot of courage to change. And for people, whatever their situation led them to the Boulevard, they get the opportunity to see that they're not alone in this journey, that there's an opportunity for help to be not only received, but to be presented in a way so that folks feel like they're in charge of their own lives, to help build efficiency so that they can make decisions about their own lives.
That's important, but the Boulevard not just gives people a place to stay, is we try to make sure that once they leave, that they have a place that they can truly stay, that's theirs.
So it's interesting, the last year, clearly, we've all heard it, right? It's been a challenge, it's been daunting, it's been overwhelming, and it has. We worked with our continuum of care, we worked with the City of Chicago, Department of Family and Support Services, and said, listen, while we're in this response, let's try to find a different way to try to get people housed faster. And so the Expedited Housing Initiative grew from there, particularly during this COVID crisis. People should not have to wait an extended period of time, particularly when they want to be housed. They just need a little hand holding through the process. And it's not that we solve their issues for them. We just bring tools to the table and say, what can we do to help you achieve your goal of having a place to call home?
That was my goal, to have my own place when I left. People helping people. It takes money to run that facility, to keep that facility in play and allow people like me the opportunity to help themselves. So I would just say, give all you can, because we need more places like that. We really do.
Thank you so much, Carolyn Ross, for your leadership. The work that All Chicago is doing in partnership with the Boulevard and the City of Chicago, it's making a real difference for our neighbors in need. And of course, thanks to each one of you who are able to make a significant impact by helping someone move from homelessness to housing. Your contribution of $5,000 is so generous and so appreciated. As you've seen, medical respite is vitally important for someone who needs to recover from illness or injury and has no home. Residents like Augustus and Sean receive the medical assistance they need from the Boulevard's on-site health clinic, which is run in partnership with PCC Community Wellness Center. For $2,500 today, you can make a real impact in providing the health of someone experiencing homelessness with the support that they need. With a commitment of $2,500, the Boulevard can provide a whole month of medical respite care for one resident. This would include on-site medical care like physicals, A1C screening for diabetes, glucose monitoring, other blood work, and the connection to a primary care physician.
Hey, Mr. Wilson.
Hey,
how are you today?
I'm good.
You cannot change a community by staying in your silo. What we're doing is PCC is providing the healthcare services. Boulevard is providing a safe space for homeless individuals to come with an opportunity to have permanent housing and a job.
Everything been doing good with you? We are a team of doctors, and we have a nurse, an MA, and a behavioral health specialist that we're present on site. And so if any of the residents have any medical concerns throughout the week, we're available.
The Boulevard is one of 3 original medical respite care providers in the nation. Our partnership with PCC Wellness helps us to do all of this.
The medication I'm on with us.
What's more comforting to know that there's somebody there that's going to help.
Okay. Come on over
That's
here.
cool.
We're not working in our own separate silos. That's why I admire the Boulevard. I admire the staff. I admire its board of directors. I love the stories that they tell, because that's success. That is success.
Take a listen here.
Support an organization that creates promise, hope, and healing to the homeless, to an important population.
We're so grateful to you, Bob Urso and Dr. Wong. That partnership with PCC is invaluable to the life-changing work that's being done at the Boulevard today. And thanks to all of you at home who are able to make a generous $2,500 gift that's going to help provide medical respite care for 1 month to someone experiencing homelessness. Again, you can donate right here on your screen, or you can text to give. Just type 41444 into your phone, just like a phone number, and text BLVD. That's what you're going to write. Throughout the pandemic, there's of course been a widespread increase in the number of people experiencing trauma. As you can imagine, it's especially evident among people who are also experiencing homelessness, which is its own trauma. The Boulevard provides residents with ongoing behavioral health care with a counselor or through group therapy. Are you able to donate $1,000 today? Because a gift of $1,000 will help cover the cost of 6 months of group therapy for residents. Behavioral health professionals work with residents to address trauma and other issues, because otherwise they can't gain the stability that they need to work on their individual goals.
People are going to heal physically from their wounds, but the internal wounds, the traumatic ones, are not so as easily identified and they're hard to heal from. There's all these wounded memories that they carry inside of them that haven't been, resolved from some childhood trauma or some abuse they've suffered, because their focus is just survival and staying alive. The healing part, I think, we begin it here. It starts here.
With trauma, you don't even know you're traumatized. Most of us we've normalized it because we've lived it for so long.
A lot of topics we went over with Thaddeus and with the other case managers. They were very helpful. Trauma was a very big thing that I knew I had trauma. I knew it. And just being able to talk about it in a group setting.
With any group session, you have to be established trust. The ability to open your heart freely, the way that you feel. I think the first thing you realize, you're not alone.
Drug addiction, the mental obsession and the compulsion and the behaviors that come from that, making wrong choices. Learning how to make better choices was important.
You done really well. Thank you. You done really well.
I look at it as empowering individuals to take care of themselves. And isn't that what the Boulevard does?
Did I say thank you? I'm going to say thank you again. Thaddeus Williams, Bob Urso, thank you again for your partnership. Thaddeus, you are doing incredible work at the Boulevard. Every day, people like Augustus and Sean rely on your sound, passionate, and healing counsel. And thank all of you for your generous $1,000 gifts. With your support, we are able to provide Thaddeus with the resources he needs so he can continue to help others through group therapy. When it comes to the loss of employment, the pandemic has had a devastating impact on people, especially those who are living in underserved communities. You heard Renita say earlier that during the last fiscal year, 40% of the Boulevard's residents became homeless because they had lost a job. Please consider making a $500 donation, because this is about working. With a gift of $500, the Boulevard will be able to provide work clothing, shoes, transportation for the first month of a client's brand new, much-needed job opportunity.
We have been longtime supporters of the Boulevard, and that need and gap that they fill is crucial for our city. We also recognize that workforce development, if done well and thoughtfully, will empower people with self-sufficiency and to have goals.
The residents here at the Boulevard are motivated. They just need a chance. I think a lot of our residents, they need a cheerleader because they haven't had one before.
The biggest thing for the workforce development is the need to be resilient and to teach beyond just technical skills. With Renita White coming on board and being aware of what's going on understanding her clients and their unique challenges and needs, but then also pushing her team and herself to come up with a really dynamic curriculum that I think will help the folks at the Boulevard become resilient and ready to work in what post-COVID looks like.
And I like to see people successful. Once you leave my program, I don't want to see you back. I just want you to come back to say, hey, I got a great job.
And we need thinkers at the front lines, ready and willing to do the hard work with this intention to get people first feeling better, but then second, finding their work passion and how to get them self-sufficient.
Thank you so much, Erica Cornelison. The partnership with you and the Alvin H. Baum Family Fund has been instrumental in helping the Boulevard to build a comprehensive, viable, and successful workforce development program. And thanks to all of you, of course, for making a $500 donation. Your gift is definitely going to help someone build confidence through employment. It is a critical step for people who are working on their recovery to regain their independence. If you don't work, you don't eat. So imagine trying to get a job, benefits, housing without any identification. You cannot. You are who you say you are, but only if you have that piece of paper or that card that proves it. So the Boulevard works with clients to help them access the proper documentation that they need to move forward in their lives. So would you be able to donate $100 today for that? A gift of $100 helps the Boulevard help people obtain documentation, an ID, Social Security card, birth certificate, so they can access public benefits and help secure housing.
We want to make sure that there are no barriers for housing. We want to make sure that our residents, that there are no barriers for housing. If you're trying to get any kind of service, you need an ID. And housing, you definitely need a birth certificate and your Social Security card. A lot of times when people come in, they don't have those documentation. We want to make sure that everybody, when they come in, we get a birth certificate. We have to order a birth certificate. We make sure that everyone gets a state ID. We make sure that everybody has a Social Security card. We want to make sure that they're housing ready. That's what we call it. And so we tell them, hey, we want to make sure that you're housing ready.
First thing they did was make sure I had all of my necessary paperwork in order to go further. You shouldn't leave the Boulevard homeless.
It's very important that they get these documents so that they can, get their name on a lease. They can actually have their name on a lease. That's very important. Those are documents that are very critical to everybody. So it's not just, oh, this is for the homeless population. No, this is for everybody. This is something for everybody. So I think any support for that, I think, is very well spent.
Thank you, Pam Kerr. You and your team are present. That's so important. You're actually there with residents each and every day, helping them to navigate through extremely difficult times. And despite the challenges, you continue to provide people with the support they need to move forward in their lives. And thanks to every one of you who are able to make a $100 donation, your gifts are going to help men and women obtain the documentation they need to move from homelessness to healing and ultimately into stable housing. And again, if you haven't already, you can donate right here on your screen, or you can text to give through your phone by typing in 41444 and then text BLVD. And there's no amount too small, you know that, right? Together, we've watched the impact that happens when people are given the care, compassion, and support that they need to restore their health, rebuild their lives. We've watched as Augustus and Sean rebuilt their lives. Thank you to all of you who have contributed so generously today. You've made a significant difference in the lives of people just looking for a chance. Your gifts today are that chance. Thanks for making a meaningful impact.
We are so grateful for your generous support. Thank you for making such a significant impact in the lives of men and women who have been some of the hardest hit during the pandemic. As you've heard, the programs that you are supporting have never been more important. With your help, we remain committed to a promising future of hope and healing for all the men and women we serve. You are truly making a meaningful impact in the lives of Chicago's most vulnerable residents. It is now my privilege to introduce you to one of Cook County's leading public health experts, Dr. Rachel Rubin. Dr. Rubin is the Senior Public Health Medical Officer and co-lead of the Cook County Department of Public Health. During the pandemic, Dr. Rubin has given public health guidance to the millions of residents in suburban Cook County. Dr. Rubin has been part of the Boulevard family since its inception. During the mid-1990s, she was instrumental in helping to form the long-lasting partnership between the Boulevard and what is today Stroger Hospital of Cook County. Today, I am so pleased to welcome Dr. Rachel Rubin as she presents the Boulevard's Enhancing Lives Award to Dr. Awadi, Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health. Before I hand it over to Dr. Rubin, I'd like to share a little more about this award. The Boulevard's Enhancing Lives Award was established to recognize extraordinary individuals or organizations making significant contributions to enhancing the lives of individuals living in Chicago's underserved communities and demonstrating a strong commitment to the shared values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Please welcome Dr. Rubin.
Thank you, Renita. It is my tremendous pleasure to be with you here tonight to present the Enhancing Lives Award to my colleague and friend, Dr. Allison Arwady, the Commissioner of Health for the Chicago Department of Public Health. The Boulevard is so close to my heart, and to present this award to such a deserving public health leader is my great pleasure. Dr. Arwady was confirmed as Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health in January of 2020, just as the COVID-19 pandemic was emerging. Chicago is fortunate to have had Dr. Arwady in this position at exactly the right time. Since 2015, she has served as Chief Medical Officer at CDPH. Prior to that, Dr. Arwady worked for the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as an Epidemic Intelligence Service Officer, which is when I first met her. Dr. Arwady and her team at CDPH had been monitoring the progression of the COVID-19 pandemic and preparing for a local outbreak when the first community-based transmission was identified in Chicago in late February 2020. CDPH implemented a citywide system for the prevention of COVID-19 within congregate settings for people experiencing homelessness and in underserved communities where people have been disproportionately affected by the virus. A community mitigation strategy was put in place to slow the spread of COVID-19 among vulnerable and at-risk populations. CDPH worked in collaboration with local agencies, homeless service providers, healthcare providers, advocates, and others to mitigate potential adverse health impacts among those at high risk. CDPH provided guidance to screen, test, and identify confirmed cases. They deployed rapid COVID-19 tests to every shelter in Chicago. They recommended social distancing and sanitation measures and distributed personal protective equipment. They provided quarantine and isolation housing options for suspected and confirmed cases, and they mobilized teams of medical professionals to provide on-site primary and behavioral health care. As part of the city's push for COVID-19 vaccine equity, CDPH made certain that underserved communities, at-risk individuals, people in congregate settings, including homeless, service providers, and outreach workers, have had access to the vaccine. During a news conference, Dr. Arwady was quoted as saying, "We want people experiencing homelessness to know they are a priority for the city and their health matters." Therefore, in recognition of her leadership of the Chicago Department of Public Health in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic in the city of Chicago and addressing especially the most vulnerable populations that are affected by COVID-19, I present this Enhancing Lives Award to Dr. Allison Arwady. Congratulations, Dr. Arwady.
Thank you so much, Rachel. First, it's been just such a privilege working with you and your department throughout this last year plus. And a huge thank you to the Boulevard. This is just a beautiful award, but even more than the award, really, I'm accepting it on behalf of the Chicago Department of Public Health. We recognize how critical organizations like the Boulevard always have been, but then especially during the time of COVID, I think the world has really noted how important it is to prioritize the health and well-being of people who often we tend to forget about. And I know that the Boulevard for years has played such a critical role in terms of providing that medical respite, the really more specific needs that people who are experiencing homelessness here in the Chicago area have. And I think during COVID, like everybody, I know operations were affected. I know that there needed to be additional space to make sure that there could be social distancing. And we saw that throughout organizations that were addressing homelessness. But I think even more so, models like the Boulevards that really say, let's think about the whole person. Let's think about the holistic needs, whether there are issues related to substance use, whether there are issues related to mental illness, whether there are issues related to economics and general support, and then first and foremost, the medical needs. Think about all of that together, create a safe space that people can help pull their lives back together and then be able to move on in a healthier way. This is the sort of work that has been going on, I know, for years. And I think during COVID, Chicago, and really in a lot of ways the U.S., has paid more attention to this. So I can't thank the Boulevard enough for the work that you have been doing for all of these years. I really am so appreciative of your recognition of me and of the Chicago Department of Public Health. And I want to thank you for all the work that you're going to continue doing into the future as we really think about improving the system of care for people experiencing homelessness here in the Chicago area. We're really excited to play a role in that conversation, and I hope that all of us will really take this time to heal. I know that's the focus really of your event. Think about that in a way that is about healing the whole city. I'm really confident that with the support of organizations like the Boulevard, we are going to emerge a healthier Chicago. Thank you again so much for this award.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and it's my great honor to be here tonight to congratulate Dr. Allison Arwady for receiving the Boulevard's Enhancing Lives Award. Dr. Arwady began her role as our Public Health Commissioner back in January 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. Since then, she has stepped up to the challenge time and time again, and has served as one of our most fearless leaders during the most devastating health crisis of our lifetime. The Enhancing Lives Award was created by the Boulevard to recognize extraordinary individuals who have made significant contributions to protect the well-being of our most vulnerable residents, making Dr. Arwady particularly fitting for this honor. So congratulations, Allison. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than you. And as you all celebrate tonight, I want you to know that the Boulevard has a partner in me. And together, we can create a future full of hope, healing, and health equity for all of our residents. So good night, everyone. Thank you, and please continue to be safe.
Hello, everyone. This is Alderman Walter Burnett. I'm so excited to be here today for the Boulevard's annual gala. Appreciate everyone who supports the Boulevard. The Boulevard has been a pivotal part in our community. It's an emerging neighborhood, but there are still a lot of people who are in need. The Boulevard has been very instrumental in helping folks to get housing, especially those who find themselves coming from the hospital. There are so many people who leave the medical institutions without a place to stay, and they need to get somewhere so that they can heal. But also the Boulevard proceed to help to find them permanent housing. So I'm proud and happy to be on the board of the Boulevard. I'm excited about this fundraiser, and I thank all of you all for supporting the Boulevard. I also like to congratulate the Boulevard for bringing everyone together, the community, the non-for-profits, the philanthropy folks in the community, and the business people in the neighborhood, bringing everyone together for a good cause to help people in need. And I also would be remiss if I did not congratulate one of the most famous doctors. Congratulations to Dr. Arwady. She's been on every television station. She's been in everyone's household telling us how to stay safe, how to get tested, how to also get vaccinated. We want to thank you very much for your commitment to the city of Chicago and to the citizens of the city of Chicago, making sure that we are alive, that we are healthy. God bless you. We appreciate everything you've done. Thank you very much for supporting the Boulevard. We really appreciate all of your assistance and your department assistance for what they have done and are doing and are going to do for the Boulevard. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you for getting this award. Congratulations. God bless.
We are honored to have Mayor Lori Lightfoot with us this evening to congratulate Dr. Awadi for receiving the Boulevard's Enhancing Lives Award. We're so grateful to you, Mayor Lightfoot, for your thoughtful remarks. We appreciate your leadership in addressing the health disparities that exist among Chicago's underserved communities. And we're thankful for the long-standing partnership the Boulevard has had with the city, especially through the Expedited Housing Initiative, where together with All Chicago each year, we'll be helping 120 individuals and families move from homelessness to permanent housing. Thank you, Alderman Burnett. We're grateful for your partnership with the Boulevard, and we value your leadership in our community. We're also very honored to present Dr. Awadi with our Enhancing Lives Award for the significant work she's done to protect the health of our city's most vulnerable neighbors. And we're thankful for the Boulevard's own Dr. Rachel Rubin, who is working hard to keep suburban Cook County healthy. As you've heard throughout this event, we have some amazing partners. We could never do the life-changing work we do each day without the support from these incredible individuals and organizations.
Oh no, it's over. Well, almost. The Boulevard's 2021 virtual gala is coming to a close. I want to add, I have had so much fun with you tonight. I appreciate you setting aside this special time in your evening to be here with us. Time is everything, as we've learned over the last year. Hope you enjoyed learning about the important work the Boulevard is doing to help people move from homelessness to healing and into stable housing. Hopefully you were inspired when you witnessed this work in action through the transformational stories of Augustus and Sean. And I thank you for your support of this life-changing work. Remember, no amount is too small. It is the collective impact we're looking for. We can make a meaningful impact in the lives of our city's most vulnerable residents. So we started tonight with a special performance from Harmony, Hope, and Healing. So that's the way we're going to close. Their uplifting and inspirational song will end our celebration with you on a beautiful high note. Now remember, you're at home, so nobody's watching. So why don't you just get up and dance and put a little love in your heart. Enjoy. Dun, 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 dun.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you. For you. And me. And me. You just wait. You just wait. And see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. We want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you. For you. And me. And me. You just wait. You just wait. And see. Just wait. Take a good look around. And if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you. For you. And me. And me. You just wait. You just wait. And see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Yes. Put a little love in your heart. Today. Put a little love in your heart. It's coming. Oh, wow.
I have not. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I have not.